3 months ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life. My name is Stella, and I am a 29-year-old married woman. My husband, Chris, is hardworking and loving, but I let temptation get the better of me. During a rough patch in our marriage, I felt lonely. Then came Kenneth, a colleague at work, who always knew the right words to say. One thing led to another, and I fell into sin. The guilt was unbearable. I couldn't eat or sleep. I knew I had to seek forgiveness, not just from God, but also from someone who could guide me spiritually. I decided to speak to Pastor Michael, the head pastor of our church. After service one Sunday, I asked for a private session. Sitting in his office, I poured out my heart. Tears rolled down my face as I confessed my affair and asked him to pray for me. He listened patiently and then prayed with me. I left feeling relieved, thinking I was on my way to healing. But 2 days later, Pastor Michael called me back to his office. I thought it was for more counseling, but his tone changed. "Stella, what if Chris finds out?" he said. I begged him not to tell. That's when he smirked and said, "He won't tell if I complied." I froze. My pastor? The man I trusted? But fear gripped me. The thought of Chris finding out terrified me. I gave in to his demand that night, hoping it would end there. But it didn't. The following week, he called me again. This time I refused, but said he could destroy my marriage. I felt trapped. Who would believe me? He was respected by everyone, but I knew I couldn't let him control me. The next day, I decided to record our conversation. I went back to his office, pretending to agree. With my phone hidden, I captured every word. When he repeated his threats, I had all the evidence I needed. I took the recording to Mummy Peace, a respected woman in the church. She listened and promised to stand by me. Together, we confronted Pastor Michael with the church elders. They were shocked and removed him immediately. I later confessed everything to Chris. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but he forgave me. We started marriage counseling and have been rebuilding our trust. As for Pastor Michael, he left the church in disgrace. I learned a hard lesson about trust and accountability. Most importantly, I learned that no one should have power over my choices, no matter what mistakes I've made. I hope my story encourages other women to stand up for themselves and seek the right kind of help when faced with challenges.